I hope you don't mind a little bit more Christmas in the background. I mean, you know, it just happens, so I'm sure you're fine with it. So, 2025 is done now, huh? What happened to it? Over the past few years, I've done a yearly recap video detailing the work I did throughout each month. While it is useful for me to look back and see how much I've progressed, I want to do something different this year. I will still do a recap of my work at the end of the video, but I want to shine a spotlight on some of the most creative and hard-working Nanachi makers in this community. I've been absolutely blown away and truly inspired by some of the creators around me. It just didn't feel right to let 2025 go by without pointing out their incredible talent. I'll be adding chapters to the video, so you can jump around to any parts that seem interesting to you. The video will start with the other creator showcases, and then a short recap of 2025, which will include the gems that happened this year. Lastly, I'll end the video with some final words to send off the year. So, let's begin. While all these Nanachi creators are my friends, I'll be detailing what about their avatars I find so compelling. So, I won't just be doing praise for the sake of praising my friends. Now, there's no particular order to this, so I'm just picking at random, and we'll start with Givers. Givers has a vast variety of avatars, yet their styling and aesthetic is consistent across all of them. You'll often find a sort of nostalgic feel to his avatars, harking back to 2018 to even 2020 with their metallic-looking emissions and matte caps. This style makes heavy use of shaders and unique lighting choices. That helps them pop out a lot more from a crowd of the more usual avatar styles that you find and that are common in 2025. Personally, I find this aesthetic exceptionally well refined on Giver's avatars. So much so that I even have a personal edited version of his Washu Nanachi, because I love it so much. That's this one. Now, aesthetics are one thing, but where Givers truly shines is his insanity. Almost all of his avatars have an insane amount of features or depth to them. We're talking avatars that can control giant mechs, flashy dual-wielding Nanachis that can teleport and dash around worlds, silly meme avatars that can skateboard and shoot bubbles, and the list really goes on. When it comes to my gems, Givers is often anticipated for the crazy work they create in the 3 short days they get, to which they never really let down either. Like, the most recent one, he made an avatar that was just Duck Hunt. It was the game, Duck Hunt, on an avatar. I don't want to spoil everything that they have in store. It ruins some of the magic if I show and explain all of their work to you. You need to go and check out his avatars and find yourself floored at how insane and feature-rich his avatar catalog can be. Givers is a goofy guy who helps his friends out with avatar work for an untold amount of hours. They experiment with new and unique ideas, is consistent with their avatar quality, and most important of all, is a big meme with a passion for making avatars. And I can't wait to see what insanity comes from him in 2026. Maygic is an avatar creator who needs no introduction. Or maybe they do, it's been a while, okay? She's recently returned to creating Nanachis roughly about 7 months ago. And my god, she doesn't miss. As an experienced avatar creator, May has been around for a long time. This means she's pretty much perfected her workflow when it comes to making avatars. I will often get a Discord message from her, and it'll usually be an image of an insanely adorable and well-designed Nanachi, chilling in A pose. Done in record time. Then, a few days later, this repeats? I'm unsure how she does it, but Maygic is able to continuously make such high-quality avatars in any theme in such a short time. You'll find her work uniquely hers purely on how she approaches and executes on their design. What about a cute modern tanuki? How about matching vampire bats? Want a cyberpunk Nanachi maybe? And maybe steampunk does the work for you. She can do all of them, and manages to still tie those themes so closely into the avatar's core design, but not lose the essence of her style. Now, Maygic does have some publics, and you'll see this in the video. However, she specializes in selling avatars or doing commissions. Details can be found either on the screen or in the description, and I highly recommend you get in contact to commission her. there is a reason why she's always got commissions to work on. It is really hard to explain in detail how inspiring it is to have her as a friend. I find myself instinctively sending her early work in progress images of my avatars to get her opinion on my work. So expect to see more collaborative work between May and I in 2026. Are you right there, my guy? Oh boy, where do we even start with this guy? I've been watching PvP grow as an avatar creator for a long time now. If you check out his avatar world, you can clearly see his improvements upon each release. It's honestly really impressive. PvP has a particular style, and while he takes a lot of inspiration from other people or media, he always pulls it in together with his own vision. You'll find a mix of nostalgic vibes and uniquely PvP takes on aesthetics and themes with his avatars. You'll get what I mean once you start seeing and using his work. He's always able to grab a particular look that he wants to create, and then throw some chaos into the mix, making an avatar that draws people's attention towards you immediately. Whether it is strong defining emissions or hand-painted textures, each avatar has its own unique pull to it. I find his texturing style to be something particularly interesting and pleasing to look at. This goes hand in hand with his audio link designs that cover most of his avatars. If I had to describe his work in a few words, it'd probably be controlled chaos. Now, I won't spoil his plans, but he does have more work to show and release, hopefully sometime soon. I've been lucky enough to be able to see his newer unreleased avatars, and I can honestly say they'll be quite popular in Danachi circles. There is clear improvements with his work, and watching him find and perfect his own unique style really fills me with immense pride. Phoenix is an anomaly. I think she likes to burn things, so it's really hard to keep records on her. I know I say this often, but the avatars she creates are honestly some of the most uniquely designed pieces of work I have seen. Each year, she manages to make some incredibly strong avatars in theming, complexity, and design. 2 years in a row now, she's created my favorite avatar of the year, which, with this year being the Deafest avatar. Phoenix is able to capture an idea and execute on it seemingly to perfection with each avatar she creates. She has the ability to craft majority of, if not all of, the assets herself, along with some incredibly complicated systems and features that tie perfectly into the theme the designs of her work. Those seemingly simple yet complex systems are just small examples that lend credence to her expertise in crafting avatars. To me, her avatars feel so well put together and designed, I often lose myself in the finer details. Wearing them feels right. Like there's a purpose. There's a reason this avatar is here. A reason to be in VR chat. There's something common amongst all these creators. These avatars feel loved. Like they were created with care, with intention, not just to see numbers rise, but to express a part of the creator. I feel like there's something so intensely human to these avatars. It's a bond I see between them and their creators. You'll have to excuse me for my seemingly fulsome rant here, but these avatars are, in my opinion, art. Whether created with that in mind or not, these avatars hold such a strong tie to their creators, such a strong projection of their personalities and passion. To me, it brings them to life. And that's something that truly inspires me the most. It keeps a part of my soul burning. I hope I've been able to share even just a fraction of that with you today. "2025 felt like a short year for me, but upon looking back, quite a lot happened actually. The year started with an Avi Jam, as did the previous year too. This time it was in collaboration with Avi Fair, which was awesome. We got a lot of eyes on our incredible work, and we actually impressed quite a lot of people. Soon after that, Nixie entered the scene, and honestly, yeah, it's kind of a turning point for me. This avatar really brought out a lot of new skills, and I learned a lot of new techniques, and that carried on heavily all the way through my avatars in 2025. Now, I really do love the puppy I made. I might have a small bias towards her, given that she has 2 miniseries versions. But almost a month later, a pretty big update happened. The new avatar world. But it was not only just that, it came along with 5 new avatars. Why? Yeah, there was 5 new avatars that came with the world update, and it also introduced a new avatar type, which is the miniseries avatars. These avatars are essentially alternate versions of avatars I've already made, but they've been based on a completely different theme. Now, this crew had their own PvP water fight system, they had their own team system, they had special unique abilities about each individual one of them, and they had tons of features as well. An insane amount of work was put into those 5, and while it took a lot out of me, it kind of felt really nice. Miniseries are something that I definitely want to continue doing in 2026. I'll probably keep them at about 2 miniseries a year, just usually because of how big they are. Shortly after the miniseries, we had the Discovery Jam, and this one was a bit of a quiet jam, probably because the previous one was super big, and that's understandable. I had a lot of fun with this one. I even got to turn my avatar into a Made in Abyss style character, which was super cool. After that, I spent a little bit of time resting from the madness, and I returned to a little bit of filmmaking and working on personal avatars. That was roughly all of March and a good chunk of April. May came around, and then Dreams took off. Oh my god, that might be my favorite jam of the year, just due to how impressive people were with the way they achieved their aesthetics on their avatars. This was followed by Ferality Somna, which was, in my opinion, by far the best Ferality I've ever been to and ever seen. What an incredible experience that con was. My god. Somewhere in the mix of those 2 events, Valera found her way onto the avatar board. She was a really fun collaborative effort between me and 2 of my friends. And she was in the works for quite a while, actually. In my opinion, I feel like she's a mainline avatar. The next noticeable event was the Ocean Jam. What an absolute blast this jam was. It allowed me to finally try making my own fishing system, which actually worked pretty well, majority of the time. But it was a really fun jam, and everyone that made avatars that seemed to have a blast in that too. Straight after that, Eris and Zeta were released. You guys voted for more avatars similar to Nixie, so I went ahead and made 2 of them. These 2 were a ton of fun to make, but it took a lot of work. But after a pretty long period of time, V's short film was released. In September, that was when I showed my very first screening of the short film Shift, that was starring V. I just want to quickly shout out again to both PvP and Phoenix for their incredible work and support on the short film. Also, go and watch it. It's 7 minutes long, and it's the best film I've made so far. It doesn't take that long to watch. You should watch it. Screening done. Spooky Autumn Jam starts. Roughly then, maybe, I think. In this jam, I want to try my hand at making a fully functional barista avatar, and what a good excuse Autumn is to do just that. We had some really unique avatars from that jam as well, including Gibbers making a weird slime chi. It was gross, in like a good way. V was shortly released after that. She took a little bit more time because I wanted to make sure she was perfected. I actually personally believe V is one of the best avatars that I have created to date. I was madly in love with working on her from the start, and all I could think about was her and a short film during her creation. Spooky times set in, and the world got its very first event makeover. Halloween hit, and along with it, a new avatar and an interactive event. This event was a little more intense than last year's, and I had a lot of fun making it. It was super interesting watching people experience it in different ways and seeing how they approach to progress the story of it. The avatar that I was working on is a piece of art. Okay, no, seriously, that avatar was maybe the funnest one I've ever worked on. Horror is a huge part of me, and it contributes so much to my creativity. So being able to really dig deep and mess with limbs and body parts and other weird gross stuff, it was an absolute joy. I would also like to do a little shout out to Tricky, because he was the one that edited the Zoichi base and modeled it. He did a ton of work on that avatar as well. Then, Spooky Jam out, Rewind in. The last jam of 2025 was Rewind, and this allowed all participants to pick any jam from the previous 11 and make an avatar based on one of those themes. This is a really nice way to cap off 2025, and we got to see a whole range of avatars from a whole bunch of different themes. That jam was a really nice reminder to me about just how important those events are to me, and I feel like how important those events are to other people. It gives them an excuse to make something new, and it gives newcomers an excuse to try something new. And I think that's been slowly building our little community. Oh, this leaves us with December. A new avatar approaches from the snow. It was Lumi, along with 3 other avatars in a cozy winter miniseries. So, Lumi and the Cozy 3 were built out of long hours and non-stop work for about a week or so, which, in my opinion, it was worth it. Well, that about wraps up what I did for 2025. Truthfully, I was quite afraid of this year. I wasn't quite sure I'd even get close to creating avatars or films even half as decent as 2024, but I feel like I've changed a bit, and I managed to pull off something good, I hope. To be honest with you, I am quite surprised at seeing how much my skills have grown, especially in like a year's time. It feels almost exponential. Well, as we move into 2026, I hope you look forward to what's coming next in our little community. I've even started a Voidly Investigations group, which I'm hoping to expand upon into events or meetups next year, and this is all related to the void creatures you've encountered during the Halloween over the past 2 years. There's also a Glotchy alien group that was created by Maygic and some of our other friends, and we'd definitely like to expand upon that next year as well. And while I can't say exactly what will happen in 2026, I trust it will be a fun ride, despite the outcome. I want to thank you for sticking with me after all these years. It means a lot. 5 years I've been making avatars. Well, here's to another 5 more. Happy New Year's.